started. Apologies for the delay this morning. I know you guys are busy as well, and your time is equally as valuable as ours is. So I apologize for being late. Um, we're gonna go ahead and get everything started. So we're gonna try to keep these AMAs shorter. Last week we ran, very very long, and obviously we're not gonna try to keep them all at an hour and a half. I think we're gonna shoot for like a half an hour, 45 minutes probably max. So we'll go ahead and start with answering the questions here that we've had from you guys posted in the AMA questions channel. And then when we get done answering those, we'll go ahead and open it up so that you guys can come up and ask any other questions that you have as well. And so I'm Dave, DG. I've got Fiendish on here with us as well. Fiendish, you want to say what's up? And it's like we got a little bit small turnout, but it's okay. We're recording this and we're gonna archive it down at the bottom of the server in the AMA archives when we do these every week, so that everyone who's not able to be here can listen to them. And then we'll have Drew do a little bit of a Cliff's Notes version of it as well. That way, everyone can get that. These are all recommendations from you guys, so we're trying to implement them all. Um, so first question, posting now because I won't be there at 6 a.m. my time. Yeah, apologies. We're just trying to stagger these at different times throughout the day on Friday each week, so that way everyone has an equal opportunity. Um, First question. When will we hear more about the snapshots being taken and the ones took? So we are working on that. The dev team is working on a way of doing that so that you guys know what's already been done, and we're actually going to be implementing staking moving forward, so that way it's just easier on everyone to handle and deal with. I don't have the release date yet, but we're going to try to get that for you guys as soon as possible. Apologies, I'm in the car. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're gonna have the release date for that as soon as possible. We're working hard on getting the staking ready for you guys. And although I don't have the date today, I'll have it as soon as I can for you guys. The next question is: will the Soul Drifters be airdropped to Soul Sand holders or discounted? So, as of right now, it's going to be a discount and a free whitelist. For Soul Drifters, for Soul Sand holders, there will be a perk also for GM Dunes on top of that. So we're just sorting all that information out, going through adding utility and getting everything ready. I'll try to release an infographic on that next week for you guys. The third question here is when do you think that we will have in-depth breakdown of Solana versus Soul Drifters, Soul Sand versus Maxis, ETH Maxis, etc. And so that's kind of the same answer. I apologize that we don't already have it for you guys. There's been obviously a lot going on our side. So, we've been working on the pitch deck for the investor raise, the contract for the tokens for both of them. Obviously, the development and the game trailer. It's just a lot of moving pieces, and so I apologize obviously that we don't have all those answers yet, but we are gonna try to get them for you guys as soon as possible. That's why we're doing these AMAs every week, just so that we can check in and continue to give you guys what we do have. I know it's a slow process. Some of these things just take a lot of time, and I apologize for that. But it's kind of the nature of what we're building here. It's much bigger than just some simple thing, and a lot of these things do take time. So we're obviously going to continue having these AMAs, checking in with you guys, keeping you guys as updated as we possibly can, and then when we do get new news, we're going to be releasing it to you guys as soon as possible. So, the next question on here we've got: when can we walk in the new lands? So I believe that's slated for Q3 as per the Soul Sand roadmap. obviously our goal is to get you guys in there doing beta testing prior to everyone else who's in there. So the land airdrop is slated for Q3. So at this point, I don't know if it's going to be the beginning or the end of Q3, but um, we're hoping to have you guys in there doing beta testing before Q4. So definitely, probably sometime within the next 6 months. And again, as these things kind of develop, we'll give you guys a better understanding and idea as soon as we have a better understanding and idea of that exact timeline. Right now, it's kind of just tentatively slated for Q3. What kind of marketing will be done to ensure some volume from OpenSea? So obviously, you guys saw the Twitter posts and all that. I know Twitter, NFT Twitter is going crazy right now about the whole Solana on OpenSea thing. We're like really, really blessed and excited to be a part of that. We did a few different custom artworks, and we're probably going to, do some type of trailer if we have time to get a video done. Also, obviously, we'll be working with some of the influencers that we worked with in the past just to make sure that we're broadcasting the fact that, SolSand is an official OpenSea launch partner on Solana and that the collection will be there. I did actually get a tentative answer from the OpenSea team. They're saying that they're hoping that within a week or two, the collections will all be available on there, that it will be paid for in Solana, that you will be able to use like a Phantom wallet. I know those were a lot of different questions that we needed answers to, and so they actually have a very special section in the OpenSea Discord for Solana launch partners, and that's where I'm getting the information. The OpenSea team's been really, really great about trying to answer questions from everybody in that community as quickly as possible, but right now they don't have an exact date, and as soon as they release one, I will let you guys know what it looks like. Moving on, let's see. Looks like we've got when is the Verse airdrop and staking? When is the land? I kind of already answered some of these questions, but I'm just going to touch on them again because it's here. So, Verse public sale, staking, all that is scheduled for Q2. So we're just starting Q2 literally today. Today's the first day of Q2. We've got 3 months in Q2. Obviously, we're hoping to have this stuff done kind of in the first half of Q2, so sometime in the next month and a half, prior to Soul Drifter's release. Land, again, is going to be a Q3 thing. Right now, we're focusing on Verse, staking, airdrops, game trailer, and those things. And then, obviously, as development continues, then we'll get a better idea of what exactly the lands are going to be released. Soul Drifter mint is, I think, Adam, help me with this one, Fiendish, technically scheduled for June or July. I can't remember the date that we had in mind for it right now. I think it was like the mid to end of June.
For which
Uh,
one?
Soul Drifters launch.
Oh yeah, I think we were actually talking sometime in May.
Okay, yeah, maybe in May. So
Yeah.
we will
Also,
be opening up the whitelist soon and starting the marketing though.
yeah, and also
So
with the token with the verse and the token staking, I think that was going to be after the Soul Drifters drop, right?
it potentially, I think it just depends. So they're both going to be basically this quarter. So sometime in the next 3 months for both. We might be closer to getting verse stuff done. I know the pitch deck is supposed to be done today. We haven't received it yet, the final version to proof, but hopefully we'll have that out to you guys next week. And then that pitch deck obviously is what we're going to be using to, do the raise and the private sale. Just in case you're wondering, there will be probably an option for at least GM Dunes, potentially all Soul Sand holders, to get in on the pre-sale. We're not sure exactly what that looks like yet, but it is something that we've thought about. As far as verse being earned by snapshots, wouldn't it be better to do it by staking? Staking has stable income. Snapshots are due to change according to events, possibility of people listing, etc. 100%, Kratos. I agree with what you're saying there. I think the team also does. That's why we've started, already looking into and implementing these staking strategies, as soon as we can. So we don't want anyone to miss out on what's already happened. So we're going to find a way of reporting all the snapshots we've already taken to you guys, and then obviously implementing the staking. That part I know should be sometime very, very near future. We already have devs working on it. So, um, what is the timeline before this rolls out? Game development is usually like 3 years or so, maybe a little less for major development houses, right? It's a great point. I mean, obviously, uh, we're not trying to, rush through the process. I'm glad that you're aware that it does take a long time and quite a bit of money and effort and energy to do these game devs things. Again, we're really shooting for having, beta testing this year. Um, and then obviously moving forward from there with the playable game, I guess we'll see kind of as we get there where we are in development and how the beta goes. And then, obviously we're just going to continue down that path together, looking at getting it fit into the roadmap, and then, hoping to get there faster rather than later. So, when is OpenSea? So I did get that one. I am, in their server every day, waiting for an answer from them. They did say probably like next week or the week after. They haven't released an official date yet. As soon as I hear from the OpenSea team, we will release that date to you guys. And then obviously we're going to be, posting about it and really pushing the word out that we're going to be on OpenSea. So, um, how, when will verse that is currently being earned by the DM DAO be distributed to the DM holders? Will it come to us all at once after the DAO gets it, or will it slowly drip out on a weekly or monthly basis? This is a great question. Really like this one. So I don't have the answer yet, but I can get this answer for you guys. And I know this is kind of a recurring theme, but we're here. We're working with you guys. We're trying to understand exactly what answers you need, and trying to work to get those answers as fast as we can for you guys. So obviously, the creation of the DAO will kind of facilitate those answers. It's not something I think that we'll put on ourselves to answer in terms of like Dune funds will be controlled by Dunes. We've done some voting already. It's obviously not as organized as it will be when the DAO is formed. So um, I suppose the next best question there is going to be, when are we going to get the DAO formed? So again, it's something that we've already started looking into. We have so many developers, so we kind of need to decide like which ones we're going to use, or we're going to go with third party and bring someone in to do that. So I'll try and get an answer for you guys before next Friday in terms of what we're doing, when that's coming, and who we're working with to get it done for the DAO, for the DM, the Dune Master DAO. Um, then okay, I can answer that one. How do we go about building on our land? What's the plan for this? Thanks. So because it's Unreal Engine, if you've ever used Decentraland's builder, it's going to be very similar to how that works. So there's going to be, some pre-made items. Obviously, some of these things will be based on, how many soul sands you hold, whether you're a Dune Master or not, whether you have free access to everything. Everything will obviously be available for purchase with Verse, which if you're earning Verse for free, technically it makes it free for you guys as well. Um, and the best answer I can give you is to kind of play around on that builder.decentraland, because that's the same environment style anyway. Obviously, our graphics are going to be a different level than theirs are, but it's going to work very, very similar to the way that one works. Um, let's see. Uh, okay. Sorry, I'm just getting lost from where I was. How do we go about building on the land? That's okay. Perfect. Got that one. All right. Curious about Ofrenda tokens plans and job schedule staking for those holding the Ethereum Day of the Dead NFT. Thank you. So thank you. That's our first project, and we obviously appreciate all the guys that have been around from the very very beginning, holding that original project. Um, Ofrenda, I believe the contract is almost done, if not done already. We were hoping to get more initial liquidity through, selling some of the remaining originals. If that doesn't happen, I think we'll probably just end up putting the liquidity in ourselves. Um, so I know we want to kind of time it around the same time as Verse. Um, so it's definitely going to be sometime this quarter. I would look probably more towards like the first 2 months rather than the last month, and I'll try to get you guys an exact date on that as soon as possible. Also, yeah, Ofrenda will definitely have some type of special role within Solanaverse, especially kind of if you've been following that project for a while in the areas of remembering lost loved ones. So there will be like a graveyard area in Solanaverse, and then things for the graveyard will most likely be paid for in Ofrenda. So, if you wanted to get like a memorial or a tomb or flowers, things to that effect, and then, you'll have the ability to remember lost loved ones in the metaverse, which is really cool. Um, let's see. Uh, got that guy. I'm looking forward to a clear explanation as to how each task listed under Q2 of the roadmap will be accomplished. I'd also like a clear explanation as to how the team will make good faith effort into marketing advertising the Solanaverse, how the team will accomplish acquiring VC investors, when Soul Drifters Mint is happening, Q1 tasks that were not accomplished. Additionally, please inform holders how the Soul Drifters Mint will go down. Okay, so a lot of questions packed into that paragraph. Um, let's just kind of start at the top. So, clear explanation for the tasks for Q2 of the roadmap. And so I know I've gone over quite a bit of these things already, but individually going through the roadmap, we've got first public sale. So the first public sale is definitely going to be, via some form of a launch pad. We're looking into a couple different launch pads and automated market makers. We've had a couple calls this week with like Darkpool Liquidity, Soma Finance. There's a couple others, and so we're definitely looking into doing that. I know these guys over Soma Finance. I recently met them in person at NFTLA at the conference that's going on this week. These guys are the first guys in the U.S. that have like the SEC backing, so that they're able to actually put coins on their launch pad that don't violate any kind of SEC regulation, which is really, really cool. I think it's going to be a huge project. They've got a ton of money. They're the only ones right now with the patents and stuff that are backed by the SEC. I can't say 100% we're definitely going with them, but we're obviously weighing out all the different options for that. And as soon as we have the answer in terms of who we're going with, we'll announce the official partnership and some of the dates. So the next one is the Dex and Sex listing, and that kind of goes hand in hand with what I was just saying. Obviously, once that public sale begins, we'll work with some of the already existing relationships we have. Obviously, Jupiter and some of the other Solana aggregators are probably where we're looking. And then hopefully we can get big enough market cap that we get, obviously it costs money on our side too, but to get listed on Coinbase and Binance. So definitely looking forward to those things. It's absolutely part of the roadmap there. Token staking. So we did release kind of to the Dune Masters, at least the rough draft of the token strategy, the staking strategy. We're going to get a, cleaner, prettier looking version of that and release it. I was hoping to already have it released. It's not released yet. So very, very near future, we're going to have a prettier version of that. Obviously, the devs are already working on making that happening for you guys. It will be on the Solanaverse.world website. Um, the vested airdrops initiated for Soul Sand holders. So the way that that'll work once we introduce the staking will be, your wallet will already be connected through the website, and those vested drops will just go straight into your wallet as long as you have stuff staked. Obviously, there'll be one drop probably at the beginning to account for all the different snapshots that we've been taking along the way. GM Dune's locked, so we haven't announced the official date for this yet, but there will come a time sometime here in Q2 where no longer will you be able to earn GM Dune status, and that'll be locked. And then somebody was posting the infographic the other day. I just saw it come through where once we've locked it, if you kind of fall out of Dune status, then there'll be a secondary fund where your percentage will go into that secondary fund, and that'll be for, I believe, people who hold 5 or more. As we kind of work out more of exactly what that looks like, we're going to try to give it to you guys in the most presentable way possible. Versus Solana's native token, and we'll have functionality like Mana and Decentraland. For Decentraland, randomized snapshots will be taken for Soul Sand holders. The longer you hold, different rarities depends on how many Verse tokens are dropped. Tokens will have a condensed gradual release schedule to protect the market. I think that's pretty clear on its own. If you need more clarity on that part, let me know. Buy plots of land and in-game goods and services. Stake your Verse to earn more Verse. Hold Soul Sand for a multiplier. Burn your Verse when buying land. This earn and burn mechanic will help balance current supply. Again, I think that's pretty clear, and more about that with more in-depth detail and clarity will be coming as we get closer to that actual launch of the land. So I would plan on that kind of being more end of Q2, early Q3. How will the team accomplish acquiring VC investors? So there's different companies that we've been working with. One of the existing partnerships that we already have has already gone through the raise process and has a number of different VCs that they're already working with, that they've already kind of started putting the project in front of. The pitch deck that is literally was already supposed to be delivered today for proofing should be out next week. That pitch deck obviously is, I think, over 45 pages. There's just a ton of information in there. And that's, we're going to be pitching different VC investors. We have a few different companies that we've been working with who are very well connected in the VC space. And they're going to be putting us in front of a ton of different VCs once we have all the material ready, which is literally very soon. When is the Soul Drifters mint happening? We briefly touched on that earlier. So we're probably looking like May, June for that. We haven't released the exact date. Whitelist should be opening like next week, I think. All we're waiting on is a little bit of the actual asset art, which 3D assets take a little bit longer to generate, especially with the amount of texture and stuff that we're doing on these. So we're definitely going to have those pretty soon. And once we have some of that concept art, then we're going to open the whitelist and start the marketing campaigns for that. As you guys know, we market pretty heavily. That's one of the things that we do quite well, in my opinion. I mean, I think we spent, 50, 60 grand in marketing Day of the Dead. We spent between 80 and 100,000 marketing Soul Sand, and we'll probably spend even more marketing Soul Drifters. Plus the game trailer, once that comes out, you're going to see it all over YouTube. We're going to have an aggressive YouTube campaign targeting NFT channels, targeting gaming channels, targeting crypto channels. And that trailer is going to be all over the place on YouTube. So I know the Day of the Dead trailer got like over 250,000 views. I think we're shooting for over 1 million on the game trailer. Q1 tasks that were not accomplished. So Soul Sand Gen 1, Gen 2 mints both happened. The Soul Drifters release was moved to Q2, so you guys already know about that. We decided not to do 2D art. We went with 3D assets right away, so that's why it's taking a little bit longer than it was. But
Uh, that's the plan there. Also, we had a pivot on the style of art once we were realized we were able to go with a much more realistic style of art than initially planned. And also, we wanted to continue to keep in line with the marketing from Soul Sand and that Titi Lothong style of art that we use for like the how you shape your world gif. And that was all community, based things, and we've tried to listen to you guys on those. That's why Soul Drifters is taking longer, but absolutely still coming. Adding partnerships and expanding the development team. So, 100% we've been doing this already the entire time. Obviously, you guys know, we've announced some bigger partnerships already, and there's more coming. Development teams probably 4 times at least the size that it was when we, wrote this roadmap, if not larger than that. A number of really experienced Solana devs, metaverse devs, 3D modeling people. There's a lot of people that are on the dev side now that weren't around back then. The seed funding and private sale. So this is definitely something that didn't happen in Q1. It's going to happen very, very early Q2. Because of some of the pivots that we've made and changes that we've made with the way things are going to be, we're just excited to really add in all this new stuff that we've spent quite a bit of money and time on. And that's part of the reason that you haven't had the seed funding and private sale yet. But it's definitely something that's going to be happening here early Q2, probably in the next, I would say, hopefully this month. We get to that point. I know some of the private sale stuff and seed funding is already going to be starting this month. So apologies that it pushed into Q2 a little bit there. The Solanaverse website, branding and game teasers. So the branding is getting there. It's pretty well branded, I think, at this point. And as we have more art, that'll continue. There is a temporary website up on Solanaverse.world if you guys haven't been there. We are in the process. It's already been started of building a much more immersive website. So, because we're a metaverse project, because we're Solanaverse, we decided that a regular website that people look at wasn't good enough. We wanted to do a very, very small, immersive, interactive experience. So, basically, what we're building for the website is going to be a really, really small corner of Solanaverse. That you're able to walk through. The merch will be, in 3D. You'll be able to walk around it and see it, and then be directed there. We're going to have an NFT gallery, which is probably going to be limited to Dunes. Dune Masters, GM Dunes. So anybody who's a GM Dune will probably be able to get one or more of their NFTs that they like featured in the gallery on the website. Obviously the staking functionality and stuff like that is going to be built in, and this is going to happen kind of in stages. So, we're shooting to get that done, by the end of the month. I know it's being worked on really, really hard right now. So as we have more with that, we're going to release it to you guys. Then, we did get it up kind of, and the game teaser obviously isn't quite ready yet. But again, a lot of that is because of some of these pivots that we made. It's all in an interest and effort to make it as best as possible. We want to produce only quality stuff, and we weren't happy with the way that it was going. We're very happy with the way that it's going now. So I think that's going to be coming really soon. I don't have the exact ETA yet, but I will get you guys the ETA for the game teaser before next Friday. Soul Sand minted in 2 drops. Secondary market was doing pretty good at first. We've had a little bit of a lull. Obviously, we're hoping that this OpenSea partnership will help that. We've been using the GM Dunes have voted to kind of keep the floor up to a certain point. I know we have 145 sands in there now, and still over 30 soul. And so, we're kind of monitoring that situation. Probably before we do the release of information on this next OpenSea part, we'll go ahead and sweep the floor again to make sure that we get the cheap ones. We are monitoring that. I know, some of the team as well. I think one of the team members has over 150 sands in his wallet. So, we're definitely doing our part as well to try to make sure that we're taking care of that. You know, on that note, I mean, this is something that I've always kind of said is, we control the floor. So, uh, you know, yes, it's based on demand, and there is a demand, and obviously, like when some of these more things come out, the trailer, the immersive interactive 3D experience website, that's going to affect the floor price. That's going to affect the demand, right? So if there's a lot of demand, and you guys are listing at 1.25 Sol, that demand comes in and buys it at 1.25, and we just set the floor, right? If everyone decides they're going to list at 5 Sol or 10 Sol, guess what the floor is? It was 5 or 10 Sol, right? The effect that has on people is they see that there's a 5 or a 10 Sol floor, right? Now they're going to come in and say, oh, well, there's a really high floor. So it's all based on what the holders do, right? Yes, we're doing all these things to create demand. Yes, we're sweeping the floor. I'd rather be sweeping a floor at 5 Sol, right? Showing people that our project is what it is, right? Sweeping at 1.25, okay. Sweeping at 5, that's great, right? Let's see. And so Project 2, Soul Drifters, passive PDE. We kind of talked about the Soul Stones last week, and we'll get more into that as we kind of create the utility chart for that. So we've been working on that. Once we kind of nail down exactly what that's going to be, we'll release it for you guys. Also, holding a Soul Sand, you're automatically whitelisted. So this has been on the Soul Sand website since before we ever even dropped Soul Sand and minted it. Holding a Soul Sand, you're automatically whitelisted. Again, we're gonna also work on like some kind of a discount as well. That wasn't part of that, but we want to take care of you guys, for being a part of this. That's going through Q1 and Q2 on the roadmap. In as much detail as I can at this time, and obviously I'm working on getting you guys more answers very soon here. So, Soul Drifters mint happening. We talked about that. Please inform us how that mint will go down. So we're looking into the Magic Eden Launchpad, and I don't even know if I'm supposed to put this news out there yet, but OpenSea is also working on a Solana Launchpad, and so those are both options. We're looking into both of those options and launching through that launchpad. There absolutely will be a whitelist. There absolutely will be discounts for holders, especially Dune Masters. And there absolutely will be unique utility just to Soul Drifters as far as like bringing in new people. And especially, obviously, there'll be utility for people who hold Soul Sand and Soul Drifters. And the same goes obviously for people who hold Day of the Dead, Soul Sand, and Soul Drifters, right? So obviously holding all the projects is going to bring you the most in rewards, and we kind of talked about that last week a little bit too. As we have more on that, you guys will have to be the first to hear. What are the perks of Soul Drifters outside of just being an avatar? Great question. So we thought about bonus verse, but we don't want to devalue Soul Sand by giving verse to our second project. There's a very, very limited amount of Day of the Dead that are going to get verse. There's a limited amount of Soul Sand that are going to get verse. We're not going to be giving verse out to any future NFT projects. So there will be unique utility for Soul Drifters. There's a lot of things that we're already talking about. A lot of it's going to be in-game utility. A lot of it's going to be, stuff that's passive PDE. So essentially, like, you stake some Soul Drifters and you get this Soul Stone. The Soul Stone generates consumable NFTs. This is just one of the things that we've already talked about. Those consumable NFTs will obviously have value inside the game, and so essentially you'll be staking those Soul Drifters and then earning free NFTs just for having done that. Those NFTs obviously will have in-game value. There's more coming, and we just haven't 100% nailed it down. We were working on it, all week this week. And I think we could probably release it in the Dune Master chat, what we've already got going, and then get some suggestions from you guys in terms of what you think would be some great utility for Soul Drifters as well. So we'll work on getting a rough draft of that out to you guys this week, and then obviously looking forward to your feedback. Is it starting soon? Okay, so my fault. Yeah, again, I apologize, you guys, for being late this morning. I know your time is valuable too, and that's on me, and I apologize. I'll try not to do that in the future. Trailer release and OpenSea listing, we've definitely touched on both of those items. And Soul Drifter and Day of the Dead, are they a side project from Soul Sand or collaboration? So they are Solanaverse projects. Day of the Dead was the first project that we put out. There's actually a mint that's ongoing right now on Ethereum and on Solana. The only way to mint them on Solana is to hold one of the ones on Ethereum. There's only 777 total in that entire collection on Ethereum, 777 in the Solana collection as well, and there's 11 one-of-ones. We're going to be doing a one-of-one giveaway here this week. We'll get that posted. We do have a few extra one-of-ones that we're going to be giving away in the Day of the Dead collection. Soul Drifters is a Solanaverse project that's getting ready to launch. And, hopefully, obviously, I got those questions kind of in here. We've talked about quite a bit. I'm happy to answer more. So let me get through this last one. And then if anybody has further questions on what we've talked about, I'll bring you guys up. And let's see. Mint price for Soul Drifters, supply, traits, rarity effects, perks to owning more than one. Absolutely perks to owning more than one, and that's going to be based on the Soul Stones and the generative NFTs. The mint price, I think we were looking at like 2.5, and 3. It's not 100% locked in yet. Traits, I know there's over 100 traits already, and we're probably going to be adding more. Supply, tentatively, we're looking at 5,555 for the supply. Rarity effects, yes, there will be special things for the rarity, and based on the rarity levels, and all of that is going to be coming here in this utility that we're putting together for you guys. So we'll have more for that as well. And that gets us through those. So we started late, so I know we're just approaching the 45-minute mark. I would love to give like 5-10 minutes at least if there's anybody that still has some questions, so that we can get those in here. And then obviously, we're definitely going to have another AMA next Friday. So, don't worry. We're going to try to get as much of this stuff answered as often as we can for you guys, and be as active with you guys as we can here to, kind of make up for some of the stuff that we for the inactivity here, kind of in the interim. So, anybody have questions? Anybody want to come up? Happy to have you guys.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Maybe I have like lots of questions. It seems like I missed many AMAs. So first question is, do you have like every week an AMA or it depends?
Yeah, we started. Last Friday was the first one of the every week, but now every Friday we're going to be having an AMA.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say at the bottom of the server, underneath the international channel, is the AMA archives, and so in there we're going to be posting like a link to the YouTube channel that has the recording on it, as well as a PDF version with kind of just like the Cliff Notes, like the questions and answers, so that you can read it, and that'll always be archived on there.
Okay, great. Can we also have under that like another channel, like to have like an agenda, like so we can remember when is the next AMA? So, because sometimes we are not always 24/7 on the chat. So if there is a link like where to go and check when is the next AMA and so on.
Sure, I'll start putting them in the events. Discord has the events now. So what I'll do is when I make the announcement on Monday or Tuesday for the time, I will create the event as well.
Okay. Or maybe in the announcement, it's fine. So at least we know like where to check. So
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
this is my first question. Second question is, correct me if I am wrong. We are part of this project, and some are Sand, some are Dune Master, and so on. Now, the idea of Source Sand is to be similar to Sandbox or Decentraland, correct?
Yeah,
Or no?
absolutely. So we want to be similar, but
Okay.
we're looking for a higher level of immersion.
Okay, perfect. So, if this is the goal of Source Sand, for example, why like I'm seeing many projects on Magic Eden or on Solana network. For example, I will give you example of DGods, which floor price like exceed 100 Sol. Same thing with Astral. I don't know if you heard about it. Another one is, for example, Citizen by Source States. Each of these guys, they will have their own metaverse. Why you guys don't like have a collaboration to bring them to Source and to build their metaverse using your platform like Sandbox. Snoop Dogg has his own NFT collection, and he bought a land to build a metaverse there. So this is just an example. So what is your vision or your answer regarding that part?
So we're absolutely looking into corporate IPs and giving land to not only other large NFT projects and integrating with their avatars to bring them into Solanaverse, but also with the corporate sponsorship level. So as we're doing this raise and getting to that level, we're going to be using the same pitch deck to pitch some of the corporations. From the beginning, some of the goal was to bring in like Kawasaki, Honda, Polaris, Can-Am, a lot of these companies that are really big in the sand sports side of things. I know Monster, DC Shoes are also really big, Hoonigan. And so we're going to be approaching a lot of these guys to, even if we have to probably give them land, just to make sure that we're getting them in there. So we definitely want to go as far as we can to bring in some of these corporate sponsorships and make sure that, we're bringing large companies, large corporations into Solanaverse. What we don't want to do is intrude upon your guys' space. So, they won't get land that's the only way they do ever be able to get land that's like in Solar City or, in the Epic or Glass areas is going to be if they were to purchase, those lands just the same way that you guys did.
Okay, good. No, this is fair enough. That's why we need to understand more the vision. So we are both on the same page. Another question I have, and sorry guys, if somebody want to ask question. For example, when I see the roadmap, and I have seen it in many Discord projects, and I want to tell the truth. I don't like when a project is being changed, or it was not in the roadmap. And to be honest, today I find out about Soul Drifter. I don't know what is it. So apparently it is an avatar, and we have to mint. So it means extra money, and same thing for other projects. So why this was not explained from the beginning, unless if I miss any part of the project.
Yeah, so I apologize, that you didn't know. It has been a part of the roadmap ever since before we minted Soul Sand. It was always, part of our. So essentially, we wanted to create a situation where we're getting start stage done, and then raise more money, get more development done. Especially with kind of what happened surrounding our mint, we didn't want to raise the price, even though Solana dropped so far when we minted Soul Sand. But yeah, it was always part of the vision, always part of the plan to have an avatar project that was our own avatar project. The name changed, so it was called Super Solians at first, and now it's called Soul Drifters.
Okay.
But the vision.
I read Solian. Solian, I saw it in the roadmap. That's why I don't see Soul Drifter.
So Q1, it talks about it a little bit. Soul Drifters release TBD. And then in Project 2, Soul Drifters will feature a mechanic we like to call passive play to earn. Everyone likes the idea of play to earn, but no one actually wants to do the playing. So
Okay, that's why. So it would be great if like somebody can update the roadmap, like it was the name was Solians, and then now it became like people like me.
They're on.
Maybe today you see we are only like 50. Before we were like hundreds of people. So maybe somebody, if tomorrow he join an AMA, at least he can go to the updated roadmap. So at least he can read and have the latest update instead of like me asking question why it was not there while it is there, but you only change the name.
Roadmap 2.0 will be on the Solanaverse.world website. We'll
Okay.
try to get that rolled out as soon as possible for you guys. I appreciate that feedback.
Yeah. Last question I have. I have seen sometimes you bring like collabs. Okay, so I see people are coming, trying. But are you guys like doing like a research on them or before adding it in this channel? Because many of them, I'm not saying you guys in particular, but many users will go like blindly and follow them or mint because they believe in SourceSense. So for them by default, anything you do collab is a good project. So I don't know if you heard about a company called Rag Pool Finder. So they are becoming very aggressive in the market, and they only mainly today do on Ethereum network, and they are happy even to do that on Solana. If it's something you heard about or it's something you are planning to do, so at least me, if I see a collaboration, oh yes, I know that it's coming from a reliable source, which means you guys know the owner, know the founder, they are doxed, the team is doxed, and it's not like a rug pool project. Because at the end of the day, if I got rug pool, I will not be happy. I will say, guys, I found this project because you promote it. I know that with DYOR, but it's something we have to work together.
Sure. So let me clarify on that. What we need to do, I think, is separate collaborations and partnerships, right? So if we have a partnership with a project, that means that we vetted that project, that we're all investing in that project, that we want to work with that project on a higher level. What I would say, and we don't have it separated right now, but we'll work on getting it separated where there's a partnerships and collaborations, right? And so collabs, that's just one of the best forms of marketing that you can do in the NFT space. Essentially, what we've done is done a bunch of collabs with a ton of different projects. We vet these projects on a very, 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 very quick basis. We don't like really go too far into them. It's definitely a DYOR thing. On top of that, we have a lot of those projects that are ready now to do a collab to post for us. So we posted all these collabs over the last few weeks, right? And once the Soul Drifters whitelist opens up, all of them at the same time are going to post for us about Soul Drifters. So we're going to get a huge influx into our community because of what we've done for all these other projects. Now, at one point, we were a small project, and there was large projects that helped us out. And I always want to be in that, that WOGME, that we're all going to wake it mentality. I feel like this space is great because of that. And I don't want to lose that, right? Now, that being said, I mean, if for a project like us to do a collaboration with a small project and get their name out there can really, really help them get to the next level. And I want to help as many of these projects as I can, while at the same time helping our project get exposure in front of as many people as we can get it in front of, right? That being said, I mean, we're going to continue to do these collaborations with projects that aren't necessarily on a partnership level. And we'll do a better job of trying to, differentiate which ones are partners and which ones are just collabs. Does that make sense?
Yeah, fair enough. So you will be having a new channel, like differentiate between partners and collabs, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, good. I think you clarify many points, and guys, we are here since day one, and to the moon. Nothing else to say.
To the moon, right? We're gonna hop on the Solana rocket and take off. Just Solana's been going nuts lately. I love it.
So I will leave the stage now. If somebody else want to jump,
thanks so much, Afash.
Welcome.
Don't really have a question. Just wanted to give you guys thanks. I looked into a lot of projects, invested in quite a few, and the only one that's still standing strong is you guys. I think you've done a bloody amazing job at everything. I felt you've been clear in the announcements. I don't think there's been any issue with the timing. I feel modern society, the NFT space, and I think all the failing projects have caused people to think proper business happens a lot quicker than it actually does. But keep up the great work. I'm holding till I die or till the blockchain breaks. Thank you very much, and keep doing what you guys are doing. I'm fucking proud to be a part of this.
Thank you so much, Bob. Man. It really means a lot. I very much appreciate hearing that.
We all do.
Okay, does anybody else have anything that they wanted to come up and say, or anything that they wanted to ask about? I know we're kind of approaching the hour mark, so.
Yo, I left one more question. I'd want to know what the Gen Zero item is going to be. You guys have any idea yet on that?
So it's going to be a companion. It'll be a separate NFT, but so one of the things that we're tossing around is there was like two different versions of it. There was like a more technical version of it and a more like natural version of it, but maybe like either a AI swarm or something like that that can go and scout for you, or like a eagle or a hawk or something to that same effect. I know if you guys have seen on the SoulSand website, there's like the wolf. That was one that we were thinking about.
So like essentially like a pet, which is kind of dope.
Yeah, kind of, and it'll actually have utility, right? So like if the eagle or the AI swarm or whatever, right, was to go out and like, it'd be able to cover way more ground than you could faster, or the wolf potentially could like protect your land at night, or help gather. There's a lot of different aspects that can kind of come into it. We're obviously open to suggestions as well, because that's only 2, and there's got to be 3. There's going to be one for the Epic Gen Zeros. There's going to be one for the Glass Gen Zeros, and there's going to be one for the Sand Gen Zeros. So. If you guys have suggestions, we're open to hear them.
I don't have anything like shooting from my hip, but I'll think about it.
Right on. Awesome. Love that.
If any of you guys think of stuff like that, we'd love to hear about it. Please feel free to DM the group.
Yeah, or well, you can't open a support ticket right now because of the hack this morning.
Yeah,
But,
DM me too. I'm around it. I see DMs easier than I see the pings. So anything. Also, any ideas on the utility for Soul Drifters? We're working on some really cool ideas with that. So you guys can always DM me. My DMs are open.
We're all in this together, guys, and believe me, 50 heads are better than 10.
Actually, I'm living in Discord too, so you can DM me too, guys. No worries.
Yeah, Oikum definitely lives in the server.
Oikum, not so loud. You're hurting my ears.
Sorry.
Tell him he's old. That's why his ears hurt.
Right.
Awesome. Anybody else, real quick, before we shut everything down for today?
Did anybody have feedback on the time of it? I didn't hear the first part.
Oh, for next week's time?
Yeah.
We could throw up another vote, I think.
Let's. I heard a lot of things that can be thrown in like the DM vote, which I think a lot should be voted on from what I heard. So keep an eye on that. I think most of the DMs should as well. Just
For
do
sure.
it all by vote.
So these are for all holders. So I'm probably throwing in the Sand Society as well, just because I want to.
Works.
Yeah.
Works too. Right.
A lot of stuff is specific for you guys, though. We definitely rely on you guys more than anyone else. But for the time for the AMA, yeah, I think because I want to get as many of the holders in as we can. So Awesome. And then we'll just keep trying to stagger them. You know, we did one at like 2 p.m. our time. This one's at 9 a.m. our time. The next one will probably be like late night our time, 9, 10 at night our time. And then, you know, I think by covering a whole 12-hour period, it gives everybody an opportunity to get on. Hopefully, maybe if we have to stay up late one night and do one at like 2 or 3 in the morning our time or something. We'll make Steve do that one.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, you know, as always, we really appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We can't do this without you guys. You know, this project's as strong as its community is, and I'm really happy to report that I feel like there's a lot more community strength, especially as of late. So, you know, anything that we can do for you guys, please just let us know. We really, really very much appreciate you and all that you've done, you know, for the project and on a whole. So anything that you guys need, please don't hesitate. Let us know. We're happy to try to take care of it for you guys. Very much appreciate you all coming. Happy to answer the questions. We'll go ahead and get everything done up over the weekend and early next week and get the PDF out and put it in the archive. And we'll have the recording up on the YouTube channel probably later today. If you guys aren't liked and subscribed to the YouTube channel, you might want to jump on there just in case we decide to do, you know, some kind of like special notification or something like that, or some kind of special video. But DMs are obviously know about it ahead of time, but everybody else. Awesome. Yeah, I really appreciate all of you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Appreciate you.